What's up, everyone? It's Karthik with MoneyVest. So Tesla is going to be reporting earnings after the markets close today. So I wanted to break down everything related to earnings expectations, revenue expectations, and also talk a little bit about what are going to be the key metrics that we're going to be looking at from Tesla's earnings and what the median expected move and the implied volatility move is for Tesla after the earnings in less than 12 hours. So hope you all enjoyed this video and find it helpful. Make sure that you drop a like and subscribe to the channel as well. Again, links to our Discord and Patreon is going to be down below. There is a 51% discount available for one more week until the end of this month, and that can give you access to the entire trade alerts, trade ideas, as well as the entire platform, where we've added a few more features, and we're going to be adding more data sets and more tools for you to analyze individual stocks and do your full comprehensive fundamental analysis on individual stocks. So starting with the earnings calendar, this right here is going to be the earnings calendar for the week of July 22nd, which is the current week that we're in. And these are going to be the companies reporting pre-market today. And then Tesla, of course, all the way over here, which is going to be after the markets close on Tuesday, July 23rd, which is today. And the expected revenue numbers are $25.2 billion and 63 cents per share on a non-GAAP basis. Now, you may see some discrepancies in terms of expectations for these numbers versus some other providers, and it all comes down to the data where they're sourcing it from. And for us, we get the buy side and the sell side analysts. A lot of analysts are putting down non-GAAP earnings per share expectations of 63 cents per share with revenues of well over $25.2 billion for the company. Now, before we move forward, I do want to break down the cost basis for all Tesla shareholders. So you can see that this is the position cost distribution as of yesterday's market close. You'll notice that still majority of the traders, investors are in the green for Tesla, well over 72%. Now, this number has been well over 99% when Tesla was trading well in the 270s more recently. And then ever since it's dropped back down to 250s, which was the closing price from yesterday, this number is now down to 72%. Of course, we have seen a lot of volatility from not just last week, but the week before that, when Tesla was down trading as low as $233. And at that point, this number really did drop down to under 50%, as there were, of course, fewer investors that were in the green because the cost basis now is sitting at $222 per share for Tesla. So still majority of investors in the green with Tesla stock, and after the earnings, it's going to be very, very interesting where it actually ends up trading, whether we get a breakout or whether we get a huge rejection and a sell-off. Gary Black tweeted that Tesla reported China deliveries, in other words, insurance registrations of well over 10,500, and that is for the week ending in July 15 to 21st. Now, even though this is not going to be a huge deal because it doesn't really fall under the second quarter numbers because this is from July, but just to give you a bit of an idea on what to expect in the third quarter and moving forward, after 3 weeks of 3Q, it's at 28,400 units. That's 114% quarter over quarter and 36% increase on a year over year basis. Strongest start of the quarter in 5 quarters for the company as well. So what do analysts expect from Tesla? Earnings per share is 62 cents according to different sources, and revenue just shy of $25 billion according to Yahoo Finance, and those estimates have improved slightly over the past couple of months, rising about 2 cents per share. However, that would mark a single-digit year-over-year decline for revenue and a double-digit decline for EPS as well, and that is correct. This right here is going to be the declines on a year-over-year and on a revenue and a earnings per share basis. So some of the other expected numbers, again, 24.06 billion. That's going to be about a 3.5% decline on a year-over-year basis, and earnings per share between 61 and 63 cents per share is going to put us down about 30 to 33% down on a year-over-year basis. This is, in fact, the only company among the Magnificent 7 stocks that is expected to report a decline on a year-over-year basis. Every company is expected to report a increase on a year-over-year basis, starting with, of course, NVIDIA being the most at 111% increase in revenue and over 136% increase in earnings per share. Now, when it comes to the average move and the median move expected at almost 8%. Plus minus, and if you come over to actually to the downside, because the probability is actually quite high, the probability for Tesla to actually go up post earnings is only 37.5%, because we're going back as far as the quarter ending in June of 2022. So we're going back almost 2 years, over 2 years worth of data to better understand how the stock price has performed. And of course, in the last earnings back in March, Tesla once again missed expectations when it comes to both revenue and EPS, and still the stock price was up a little bit over 12%. 2.5%. And this again is going to be the expectation from today. But prior to last earnings, it's gone down by on average of about 10%. Because of the, again, miss and the margins coming down and the guidance not being super strong. So probability is quite low for Tesla to actually see a bit of a rally. But again, as we have seen, when expectations are really low and the companies come in slightly better than what the expectations are, believe it or not, regardless of the declines on a year-over-year basis, it's possible that the stock price actually moves in the right direction, which is go higher. So we'll again find out in less than 12 hours what those numbers are going to look like and what the performance or what the stock's reaction is going to be like. But last earnings, the stock was up 12% even after double miss. And prior to that, the stock is down on average about 10%. And the probability over the last 2 years has been the stock price going up only 37.5% with a median move downwards of almost 8%. For Tesla. Besides the financial results, investors will be very, very keen to hear plans for the company's robotaxi event, as we already know that it's been pushed out to October now from August 8th. And CEO Elon Musk did kind of hint that the design changes in the car will require extra time to put it into production. And again, they want to come out with some more prototypes and want to showcase their best when it comes to the robotaxi and autonomous driving. And furthermore, some of the other event delays. Last week, Musk said Tesla robotaxi event had been delayed from August 8th. So more prototypes could be produced and a few other things that they're going to be announcing. And Bard analyst said the new version of Tesla's self-driving platforms could be one of the few other things Musk was referring to, along with a lower cost model. In the company's latest earnings call in April, Musk said Tesla plans to start production on a more affordable model late this year or early 2025, which of course is going to be a huge announcement and it's going to unlock a big market for Tesla, especially when it comes to India. And as we know that he's been getting closer and closer to finally setting up something in India as the relationships with Narendra Modi has obviously gotten better over the last few months. Finally, coming over to Tesla's stock price here. So this right here is going to be Tesla's price, just up over 80 basis points pre-market to trading as much as $253. We're seeing a little bit of consolidation, so there's definitely a bit of a symmetrical triangle. As you can see, that Tesla continues to make some type of lower highs and a bit of a higher low as well. And post earnings, there is going to be a big move. There's going to be a big move. We just don't know in which direction. But if I were a guessing man, if I were a betting man, I would assume that considering that the numbers have looked pretty good, we have seen stronger delivery numbers at 443,000 increase on a year-over-year basis, still again coming in well above the expected numbers of 412,000. It's possible that Tesla does report some pretty good numbers for revenue and earnings per share, but it's really going to be dependent on the robotaxis, the FSD, autonomous driving, and of course the forecast for future quarters as well. So if you come back over to Tesla's numbers, and if you take a look at the quarterly report, so let's just come back over to fundamental analysis, come over to quarterly numbers, going back as far as, let's say, 16 quarters. This right here has been the revenue, and it's been steadily increasing over the years. This right here, gross profit and operating income and net income as well. And you can see that everything has been moving in the right direction. Revenue, well over $25 billion on average. Gross profit also slightly coming down because of lower margins and the cost of production going up and price cuts obviously diminishing some of those margins. And again, operating income and net income also coming down over the last 4 to 6 quarters more specifically. So if I go back to, let's say, 8 quarters, you can see that there's been a steady decline quarter over quarter because of the margins coming down, because of the price cuts that Tesla has done, so many of them in 2023 and in 2024 as well. So we really need to see some stabilization with regards to margins. Operating margins are sitting at 5.5% as of the last quarter. So we really do want to see some stabilization in the overall margins and again, profitability. And if that continues to be there, and Tesla's got a potentially bright future considering that interest rate expectations are going to be lower now. So rates are going to get cut. Market's pricing in for 3 rate cuts in 2024. That's only going to stir some more demand. Not to mention that there's been some comments, of course, politically speaking, from Donald Trump as well with regards to Elon Musk's endorsement of $45 million. Now, I don't know how that's going to play a big role because, again, we don't want to jump too much into politics here. But as I'm sure, obviously, there's going to be some fiscal or some political benefit with subsidies in electric vehicles and the adoption of electric vehicles in the United States and all over the world as well. So keeping all those things in mind, support level for Tesla very strongly sits at $233 per share. Post earnings is going to be quite a big day for Tesla to finally report its second quarter numbers, which have been long anticipated ever since the company's reported its delivery numbers. And is this finally the moment? Is this finally the moment where Tesla recovers and breaks out above this area of supply, sitting between 260s all the way up to as much as $300? It's been constantly getting rejected left and right over here. So is this finally the moment it breaks out above this area of supply, gobbles up all the shares, and breaks out to $300 plus? Or it's going to be the same story all over again, where it gets rejected, gets sold off, and gets gapped down to $232. That's going to be a down about 7-8%. It's possible that it actually ends up trading sub $230 as well, with almost a 10% decline, putting us down to 228. So let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. And again, I'm not going to sit here and tell you exactly where I know that the stock price is going to move higher or lower. My guess is just as good as yours. I can tell you the expectations are quite low considering previous quarters. And if the company beats expectations, comes out with some decent forecasts and some good message about the robotaxis and FSD, it's possible that we do see a bit of a breakout to the upside. So again, if I were a betting man, I would be betting to the upside. But at the same time, I'm very honest to tell you that nobody really knows where the price is going to go post earnings. So hope you all enjoyed this video, found it helpful. Make sure that you drop a like, and of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Link's going to be down below if you want to join, be a part of our MoneyVest community, get access to the entire platform, including our earnings calendar, fundamental analysis, visual charts. Everything's going to be available with my trade alerts and ideas as well. 51% discount available until the end of this month. As always, happy investing. I'll see you all in the next video.